So Gareth Bale is once again back in the headlines after his supposed transfer to Manchester United has been hijacked by none other than his former club, Tottenham Hotspur. Having sold the Welshman to Real Madrid back in 2013 for £90 million, Tottenham are now looking to bring him back to North London. The now 31-year-old has had injury issues, goal droughts and manager fallouts, but it still seems that Jose Mourinho believes there is a place for him at Spurs. So, if we look at the players currently at Spurs already, how do they compare to Bale? If we look at the numbers from the previous season, the potential transfer can be seen in a slightly new light. So, first of all, positions. So, Gareth Bale can play in three main positions up front. He can play as a left winger, his preferred position of right winger, or as a centre forward or shadow striker. In order to compare his potential effectiveness, we'll have to see who else Tottenham have at their disposal in those positions. So at left wing, Spurs have the dynamic Heung-min Son and the new boy Steven Bergwijn. At right wing, the Champions League hero Lucas Moura, Steven Bergwijn and the often forgotten Eric Lamela. And finally, at centre forward, Tottenham have none other than Harry Kane, with Son and Bergwijn acting as backup. So, those are the players that Bale will have to compare to, so let's see how they do. First of all, let's have a look at playing time and injuries. So this is a big one, as Gareth Bale is known for being injured a lot. Last season was no exception. Bale played a total of 1,260 minutes last season in all competitions, the lowest of any of these players. While some of that was indeed due to injury, Bale also spent 16 games either as an unused substitute or out of the squad entirely. Whether this is because of his work rate, attitude, or just a falling out with the manager is hard to tell, but it doesn't exactly fill anyone with buckets of confidence. Now, as for injuries, Bale was unavailable for 13 games last season due to ankle, thigh, and calf problems. This is the second highest of the group, with Harry Kane missing out of 16. While Bale can fill in at centre forward if Kane was injured, his preferred position on the right wing, where Moura and Bergwijn play, they have only missed 5 games between them, so it's unlikely he would need to cover for either of them, but if he can outperform them, that would be a different story. So let's look at goal output. Gareth Bale has scored 3 goals in all competitions last season, which, unsurprisingly, was the lowest of all of these players. And what's even worse is that 2 came from 1 game on the 1st of September 2019, and the third was only on the 22nd of January, almost 9 months ago now. While he has played significantly less minutes than the other players, his lack of goals for so long really must be taking a toll. So if we look at goals scored per 90 minutes, a better metric, Bale does fare slightly better, with 0.21 goals per match. This only really puts him 5th, but Bergwijn, Lamela and Moura are very, very close to him, so if he does play more regularly, he could easily improve on those numbers. The issue is Son and Kane's numbers, which are so much higher than his, you can't imagine he would really push them out of their positions unless for an injury. Goal assists. So for overall assists, Bale is once again absolute rock bottom of our list with 2, but this isn't so surprising considering his much lower game time. I mean, Harry Kane also has very little assists, but that is to be expected in the centre forward position. Bergwijn racked up 14 assists, which was very impressive, though most of these did come from his time with PSV Eindhoven before joining Tottenham in January. If we look at assists per 90, Bale is joint 4th with Lucas Moura. Bale was always much of a goal-scoring winger rather than an assist-heavy one, but as he's not scoring much these days either, you would expect a lot better than 0.14 assists per 90. As Moura's goal-scoring and assist record doesn't leave much to smile about, it is possible that Bale may establish a place for himself there, but with current numbers, it wouldn't be a particularly large upgrade, if one at all. So finally, let's have a look at price. So, while the transfer fee is currently up in the air of whether it's going to be a loan, if it's going to be a swap deal, all of that nonsense is still being discussed. The wage cost is much more public. So Bale would currently cost the club either 50% of his wages, which is somewhere in the region of £250 to £300 million a week, which would still make him the most expensive player by some margin on Tottenham's books, but he still may cost the full wage packet of somewhere in the region of £500 to £600 million a week, which is almost 3 times the amount of Harry Kane. So, should Tottenham buy Daryl Wonderboy for that amount? Short answer, no. I mean, while players can be full of surprises, and a player of Bale's calibre should not be written off, Tottenham have many other issues right now, and Bale is not the immediate answer to many of them. While playing in multiple positions is a bonus, and his superstar status could bring some glamour to the club, he is really not better than anything they already have. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope this gave you some insight into this insane sort of transfer, loan saga, whatever it turns out to be, and that is also assuming that this hasn't all been wrapped up by the time this video comes out. But as this channel is just trying to find its feet, it would be lovely if you could consider liking, sharing, or subscribing. But that is all for now. Have a wonderful day, and once again, thank you for watching.